What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Julia and today we are going to talk about poo. That's right, Philodendron Prince of Orange.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I have this beautiful specimen here, guys, and I absolutely love it. There are 4 leaves emerging right now. One's been stuck for quite some time, but I don't want to talk about it. And he's a real beaut. Right here, you can see I had it too close to my humidifier. Leaves started to brown a little bit. So that's not good. And I'm just gonna let the plant do what it needs to do with that. Now, I have 2 other little shits somewhere that I wanted to repot today. Where'd they go?
Yeah, here you go.
Oh. Thanks. Oh my God. Okay, one looks great. The other one does not. Let's take a look here. One of these has a leaf that is unfurling. As you can see, it can hold its own. The other one, on the other hand, I cannot say the same for. It is less happy, very droopy. In fact, I'll be completely honest with you, I forgot to water them. When they're in a juvenile state, you can't really forget to water them because they're not as hardy as that guy over there. So what the plan is here is these pots are far too small for what I think is going on in here. They just need to be repot. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna see on the inside of this. So I'm gonna get into that. I'm probably gonna start with the better one first, just to make sure my spirits are high before I get into this one. Oh, I'll have you know that when I bought these, they were in shit condition to begin with, so I'm not completely responsible for this. Just throwing that out there. So I'm going to get into this. So while Tweedledee is over here doing that, I'll go over some care instructions for you. So this plant here is self-heading, and it's not going to be like the typical philodendron you're used to. It's not going to vine, it's just going to grow from the center here. When it comes to pruning this plant, don't do it. This plant will naturally drop its leaves off when it doesn't need them anymore. When the plant is ready to shed one of its leaves, it's actually going to naturally break off right where the petiole meets the leaf. That has happened once here for me already. For soil, make sure that it's in a well-draining soil. I'm going to link my aeroid mix right here for you guys to check out. I'll also put it in the description below. Now, when it comes to watering this plant, I love to let my plant dry out completely, like with all my plants, and I'm a leaf reader. When this plant starts to lose a little bit of its luster, or even when it starts to droop just a little bit, that's when I'm gonna dive in with some fresh water, rainwater, snow water, distilled water, water that's been sitting out for 24 hours. Just watch out with the water straight from the tap because that might cause the tips to go brown on you. And I'm just going to briefly touch on humidity. You may have seen it in my previous videos, but I do have a cool mist humidifier that I did have very close to this plant actually, because it's having troubles pushing out all these leaves. As you saw, it has 4 leaves that it's trying to push out, so I tried to add the humidifier close by just to kind of help it lubricate its leaves up a little bit more for the unfurling process. This older leaf right here that's been unfurling for quite some time ended up getting a bit of moisture settling on the leaves, and the leaf started to go all soggy and brown on me. Just half of it though. Only that leaf though. For light requirements, this plant does enjoy bright and direct light, so don't have it right up to against the window. Pull it back a little bit. Mine is in this room right here, which gets all the eastern exposure, and it's a happy camper if you ask me. Now, be sure to rotate this plant often. As you can see, I have a lot of larger leaves on this side, less on this side, and that's just because of the lack of rotation I've been doing. So just be mindful of that. I also like to make sure my leaves are free of dust. It's just going to inhibit growth. Now, with fertilizing this plant, I tend to stick with worm castings, which is organic. It is long-term, but it's done my plants quite well thus far. But if you do want to use a liquid fertilizer, make sure it is balanced with micronutrients in it. And for the spring and summer, you can water it with a fertilizer about once a month. And when it comes to the fall or winter, take that back to every 6 to 8 weeks. As for the temperature, this plant really enjoys a range of 65 to 78 degrees Fahrenheit during the daytime, and it could take a low of 60 at nighttime. Great way to monitor that is just getting a thermostat. You can buy like a little tiny one and just have it close to your plant so you can monitor the ambient humidity and temperature around that plant. Toxicity. Don't eat it. Tell your kids not to eat it. Tell your animals not to eat it. It's toxic. Pest problems. I have not had any pest problems thus far, knock on wood, but you might encounter some spider mites, which you can just be mindful of and wipe them off. If they become a larger infestation, tipping it on its side and giving it a strong wash in your bathtub or even outside if weather permits, just to wash all those spider mites off, and you don't want them falling back into the soil. That's why we're tipping the plant on the side. If you have mealybugs, that's another one that can come about. You could do manual extraction by getting a Q-tip with hydrogen peroxide on it, and that'll break down their outer coating. But there's so many other ways, and we can get into that later. But like I mentioned, no real pest issues with this guy. Well, that sums that up. So I'm just gonna, she'll be done in just a second. I'll be done in just a second. Tweedledee will be Tweedledone in just a second. Well, all right, peeps, so that's it. It's super simple. I'm sorry I didn't really show you too much detail on that. To be completely honest, the root structure was really minimal. Furthermore, these were potted up in those little moss cubes that you might find at some hydroponic stores. And I used to love them, but when I got into loving plants a lot more and wanting to repot them and getting my fingernails all dirty and stuff, I realized that after roots have gone ahead and made home in this moss cube, it's not easy to separate those roots from that cube. And furthermore, that cube retains water really well, but it also dries out really severely. So it has a severe hot and cold situation to it. So I'm not too keen on it. I noticed that the dry out periods were crazy. So I expect this guy to perk up really quickly, and this guy is just going to be very happy and acclimate very well. You know, he's already perky to begin with. Thanks so much for sticking around. Sorry it was such a short video, but I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Peace and love. Bye. Bye. First of all, it's the day before I upload. The past few days, I've just been seeing my subscriber count slowly reaching towards 100, and it's like blowing my mind because last week I was at 70, and here we are less than 7 days later, and you guys are helping me get to my goal. Then one of my great friends, Ray from Heart Shaped Leaves, she gave me a shout out on her channel. That got me even closer. I'm almost sure that got me to 100. Then I'm minding my own business, and all of a sudden I get a notification that I'm tagged in a post from Betsy Begonia. I'm like, okay. So I check it and it says nothing about me, but sure, I'm tagged in it, and it's our latest video. Hurrah! So I'm watching her video. It's the latest plant tuber tag. And then all of a sudden she starts talking about which plant tubers she gravitates to the most for a good laugh. And the chick said me. I make her laugh. Like, there's so many funny plant tubers out there. I was never expecting to hear my brand name come out of her mouth, but thank you, Betsy. I have followed this chick since
So shortly after I watched the video, I hopped over to my tube buddy and I saw that I surpassed 100. I surpassed 105, 110, then I was at 115. Every time I looked, I was almost in tears and my heart is so full. The fact that you guys are choosing to follow me and you guys are enjoying the content that I'm working hard to put out for you guys, it really, really, really just filled my heart. And just to see that number climb, honestly, like, thank you to everybody who's helped me, shouted me out, supported me, everything. Like, you guys mean the world to me. So I haven't looked at the number in a few hours. I just needed to just chill, take it easy, be by myself, do some self-care, like buy that Thai constellation. Like, today is fucking crazy. Today's awesome. Check out my latest Instagram post on that. Sorry, I'm like looking in the viewfinder because I just love you. I love you so much. Just always be sweet and cute, and I just love you. So I have this giveaway for you guys that I'm able to make come to fruition because of you guys. So before we get to that, I just want to quickly take a look at what my subscriber number is right now with you guys here. My heart feels so full. Like, even Cody from the Crazy Plant Guy, he video called me today just because his heart was exploding for me. Like, the love that's in this plant community is amazing. Where's my tube buddy? There it is. Where? Guys! 134 subscribers. Are you kidding me right now? You guys are gonna make my heart explode out of my chest. It's just, I am just so happy. Like, I know some of you guys are probably thinking like, oh, this chick is like just exaggerating or whatever, but like, no, like, I never imagined this would ever get to this point. This is a milestone for me, and I'm just really happy to have gotten this far, and we're just gonna keep going. Let me just collect myself for a second. I'm okay. Breathe, Julia. Julia.
Good morning, Julia.
Julia. And the bees knees, guys. Bees knees. Knees, knees. Okay. So here's the dealio. What I'm gonna do for you guys is, while I don't have all the fancy plants, and even the fancy plants that I do have, they're quite small, as we already, went over. So because I can't give you the gift of life, I'm going to macrame a plant hanger for you, and one person is going to win. Actually, let me open up the giveaway details here, because I'm still frazzled from what just happened here, that I can't use my own brain, that we're gonna have to use the computer's brain if she will load up. Thank you. The lights are so bright, I'm squinting, okay? Don't mind me. I have photosensitivity. So the rules for this giveaway are as follows. You need to be subscribed to me on YouTube. You need to like this video, comment down below which plant you will put in this plant hanger, and 4, follow me on Instagram. So the qualifications are as follows. You need to have a valid YouTube account and a valid Instagram account. This is both so I can ensure that you are a real person. I can also contact you on Instagram to let you know that you won, and you must be a resident of Canada or United States. I'm sorry to anybody else who's outside of those limits. So at this point, the odds in winning are 1 in 134. So thank you guys all so much. And that is approximate because this number will fluctuate. When am I gonna draw? I didn't even think about that. Let's see. So the giveaway is going to be closed on Thursday, March 5th at midnight, my time. I'm sorry, I'll put that on the screen. Under giveaway rules, 1 entry per person. I will be randomly selecting a winner with a random number generator. That winner is going to be announced 2 videos from now on Friday, March 6th. So I look forward to seeing you then. And in the meantime, why don't you watch me make the giveaway prize? And I'd just like to say this video is not sponsored by YouTube or anyone else.